This is Auditory Anthology, a podcast featuring the best sci-fi short fiction. I'm your curator, Keith Conrad. If you like what you hear, I hope you'll take the time to rate and review our show on your podcast player of choice, and be sure to recommend it to a friend. That'll help us grow the show and continue to share these stories with you each and every week. If you have a story you'd like to contribute to this series, you can visit submissions.soundconceptmedia.com or just follow the link in the show notes. In this episode, we have the third and final act of our first miniseries, The Illusion of Unity. In Act 2, after learning there was a fleet of alien ships on their way to Earth, and they would reach us in 75 years, the human race banded together to create our own ships to intercept them. Now in the conclusion, it's time to meet our interstellar neighbors.
Up until now, we've been exploring the events that led up to the mission. Events that, for many of us, are part of a history that feels distant, almost unreal. But as the fleet began its journey, the story moved into a new phase, one that unfolded during my own lifetime, and one that I, like so many others, watched happen live. The astronauts knew they were heading into the unknown, facing potential threats that could change the course of human history. And yet, as they passed one of our closest celestial neighbors, the commander of the mission couldn't help but reflect on what might have been.
This is Commander Nathan Cole speaking to you from the Odyssey. As we pass Mars, I can't help but think about how different this mission could have been. Here we are, so close to a world that has fascinated humanity for centuries. A world that holds so many secrets, so much potential for discovery. I wish we could stop, take our time, explore this place. Mars has been the stuff of dreams for so long, a symbol of what we could achieve if we just reached out far enough, worked hard enough. And now here we are, so close, but our mission lies elsewhere. Instead of exploring the surface of Mars, we're moving past it, heading toward a rendezvous with a fleet that could very well be our enemies. It's hard not to feel a sense of loss of what could have been. But we have a responsibility to protect our home, and that means continuing on no matter how much we might wish things were different. But I hope that someday, someone will be able to stop, take time to explore the places we're passing by. I hope that this mission, whatever it brings, will pave the way for a future where we can reach out to the stars, not in fear, but in wonder.
Commander Cole's words captured a sentiment that many felt, a sense of yearning for what might have been, tempered by the knowledge of what had to be done. As the fleet moved past Mars, it was a poignant reminder that even in the face of potential danger, the spirit of exploration, of curiosity, was still alive and well. All right, Jerry, in this part of the podcast, I think maybe it needs to sound a bit different. This is where the story starts to become personal, so I think it needs to have its own style. As the fleet continued its journey toward the unknown, the world watched with bated breath. But just as hope and anticipation were reaching their peak, disaster struck. An accident, one that would forever change the course of the mission and the lives of those aboard. The news broke during a NASA press conference where the agency's new spokesperson, Dr. Michael Green, stepped forward to deliver a report that sent shockwaves across the globe.
Good afternoon. It is with a heavy heart that I must inform you of an incident that occurred aboard the fleet earlier today. At approximately 0800 hours, there was an explosion aboard the Endeavour. Fortunately, we can confirm there were no fatalities as a result of the explosion. However, the impact of the blast was significant. The explosion caused the release of shrapnel that struck dozens of ships in the fleet, resulting in varying degrees of damage. After a thorough assessment of the damage, it has become clear that a significant number of the ships in the fleet will not be able to make a return trip to Earth. There are not enough resources on the undamaged ships to accommodate the astronauts from the damaged ships. This means that many of our astronauts may now be on a one-way mission. The only hope for bringing some of our astronauts lies in the outcome of their encounter with the alien fleet. If the aliens are friendly and possess the technology to assist, there may still be a chance for their safe return. But as it stands, the path ahead is uncertain, and the risks have increased dramatically.
The news of the accident was a devastating blow, not just to those aboard the fleet, but to everyone on Earth who had placed their hopes and dreams in the success of this mission. What was once a journey filled with the promise of discovery had become a desperate bid for survival. Hey, Jerry, I like the Dr. Green audio. It's really good, but it would be even better if we could find some sort of reaction from family members. And it seems like NASA is just keeping them out of the public eye, but if we could find someone, anyone, then let's add it in, all right? Even if that means re-recording my part of the narration, that's fine. I think it would be more powerful, though. The astronauts now faced a future filled with uncertainty, knowing that their fate rested not only on their own abilities, but on the intentions of an alien race they had yet to meet. As the fleet continued its journey, the stakes had never been higher, and the world could only watch and hope for a miracle. The news of the accident aboard the fleet sent shockwaves across the globe. It wasn't just the astronauts and their families who felt the impact. People everywhere grappled with the gravity of the situation, each in their own way. Some were struck with fear, others with sorrow, and still others with a sense of helplessness. To capture this moment, let's listen to the voices of those who were living through it, trying to make sense of what it all meant.
Man, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, they're out there on the edge of the solar system, and now they might not come back? It's like a nightmare. What if they don't make it? What if the aliens are hostile? I just keep thinking about my family and the kids. What kind of world are we living in? How is this even possible? I'm scared. I'm really scared. This was supposed to be a mission of hope, and now it feels like everything's going wrong. I just don't know what to think.
When I heard the news, my heart just sank. Those astronauts, they're heroes, all of them. And now, knowing that some of them might never come home, it's heartbreaking. But I also can't help but admire their bravery. They knew the risks, and they went anyway. They're out there, representing all of us, facing the unknown. And that's something I think we should all be proud of. It's a reminder of how fragile life is, how everything can change in an instant. But it's also a reminder of how resilient we are, how even in the face of unimaginable challenges, we keep going. We have to keep believing that they'll find a way, that somehow they'll all make it through this.
The reactions were as diverse as the people themselves. Fear, sadness, pride, and hope, all intertwined in a moment that tested the limits of what we could endure as a global community. The accident aboard the fleet was a stark reminder of the risks we were facing, the uncertainties that lay ahead. The fleet continued its journey, now burdened with the knowledge that there was no turning back. The path ahead was uncertain, but the mission remained the same: to meet the alien fleet and to do whatever it took to protect our home. In the aftermath of the accident, leaders from around the globe offered their support and their prayers, but it was the message from the President of the United States that resonated most deeply. In a speech that was both a tribute and a rallying cry, the President honored the courage of the astronauts and offered a glimmer of hope that perhaps, just perhaps, the aliens they were racing to meet might be the key to bringing them home. Let's listen now to that message, a speech that was broadcast to billions, reminding us all of the bravery of those who ventured into the unknown on our behalf, and of the fragile hope that perhaps, against all odds, this mission could still end in a way none of us expected.
My fellow Americans and citizens of Earth, today we find ourselves at a crossroads in our journey, a journey that has taken us farther from home than we ever imagined. And now, one that presents us with challenges we've never anticipated. The accident aboard the fleet is a stark reminder of the risks our brave astronauts have undertaken, risks that they accepted willingly in the name of protecting all that we hold dear. But even in the face of adversity, these men and women from around the globe have not wavered in their resolve. They continue to carry on with their mission, knowing that the stakes have never been higher and that the path ahead is uncertain. They are heroes, not just for their own nations, but to every person on this planet who looks up at the stars and wonders what lies beyond. As we move forward, we must also consider the possibility that this mission, which began as a defensive measure, may yet take a different course. We do not know the intentions of the alien fleet that approaches us, but we must hold on to the hope that they come in peace, that they bring with them not just the unknown, but the possibility of understanding, of cooperation, and perhaps even of salvation. Our astronauts went into space prepared for the worst, but we now must hope for the best, that these visitors from beyond our solar system may hold the key to bringing our people home. In the days and weeks ahead, we will stand united in that hope. And let us honor the courage of those who continue the mission on behalf of all of humanity.
The President's words offered a beacon of hope in a time of great uncertainty. But what I find most remarkable is how the narrative had shifted. The fleet was sent out there because we assumed the worst, that the aliens might be hostile, a threat to our very existence. And yet now, in the wake of the accident, we find ourselves hoping that these same aliens might be our salvation, the only chance for our astronauts to return home. It's a profound shift, from fear to hope, from defense to a potential plea for help. Jerry, I think you know what I'm looking for with the President's message. It's a pivotal moment, obviously. Everything that's happened over the past 75 years has been leading to this moment. The fleet has finally intercepted the alien spacecraft. The audio we're about to play is coming in live from the mission as Commander Cole and his team prepare to make first contact. The images they've sent back show that the alien ships are unlike anything we've ever seen.
This is Commander Cole. We've reached the alien fleet. The ships, well, they're unlike anything we've encountered before. White, egg-shaped, smooth, almost organic in appearance. There are no visible windows, no signs of any propulsion system. It's as if they're just floating. The lead ship, it's larger than the others, about twice the size, and we're seeing what appears to be a hatch on its side. This could be an entry point, a way for us to make contact. Preparing for an EVA, myself and a team of international astronauts will approach the lead ship and attempt to communicate. We don't know what to expect, but we are ready for anything. We're going in slow, careful. This could be the moment we've been waiting for. We'll keep the channel open. All right, we're about to step out. Stay with us, Earth. We're not alone out here. We're at the hatch. No visible controls. It's smooth, seamless. We're looking for any signs of activity, nothing yet.
This is incredible. The fleet has made contact with the alien ships. We're on the edge of something historic here. Commander Cole and his team are about to make first contact, and the world is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. Jerry, keep the live audio feed. We need to share every moment of this. We're still following the live feed from Commander Cole and his team as they prepare to enter the alien ship. This is the moment we've been waiting for, the moment when we finally learn the truth about these mysterious vessels. Commander Cole is about to enter the ship. The world is holding its breath as we wait to hear what he finds inside.
I'm entering the ship now. It's incredible. The interior is a vast, cavernous white space like nothing I've ever seen. It seems to be an inflatable spacecraft of some kind, but it looks like it has been out here for a while. Still no sign of any crew. There's a column in the center. It seems to be the core of the ship. It's got some kind of environmental systems, but they're different. There's something retro about them, like they're from another era. 1960s, maybe. I can hear it, faint but unmistakable. The signal, the same one that started this whole mission. It's coming from equipment on the column. Something here. Jeez. It looks like a reel-to-reel tape recorder. The kind I saw at my grandparents' house when I was a kid. It's in the center, right where the signal is coming from. I'm gonna play the tape. Those scientists, they did it. They set this in motion all those years ago, and we're here because of them. It's almost unbelievable. They accomplished their goal. They brought us together. Well, the good news is, between all the ships, I think we can scrounge up enough spare parts to repair our damaged ships. We'll do what we can to make it home, but now, I guess it's for all of you on Earth to make sure you use everything we've developed, everything we've learned, but to do it in peace.
Auditory Anthology is curated and produced by me, Keith Conrad. Your narrator is Darren Marlar. Be sure to check out Darren's award-winning paranormal podcast, Weird Darkness, available at weirddarkness.com and your podcast app of choice. If you have a story you'd like to contribute to this series, you can visit submissions.soundconceptmedia.com or just follow the link in the show notes. In our next regular episode, we'll have the story Cost of Living by Robert Sheckley. In a world where everyone has everything, some people begin to question whether or not the comforts of their modern world are worth the cost.